Welcome to Read, Watch, Wine. This is Champagne.
This is Treva.
Lynn.
Raya.
All right, today's book to movie is Sun is Also a Star.
Yes.
Written by Nicola Yoon, screenplay by Tracy Oliver, and director is Russo Young. So what do you guys think about this book?
So I didn't care for the book. It was kind of boring to me.
I felt like it was a book for a 12-year-old.
In the book's defense, it was.
It's made for teenagers. Yeah, but I just felt like it was like a 1970 12-year-old because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh. That may be a good idea.
But I feel like I feel you.
We need to have some 12-year-olds read it and then give their opinions for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really boring. I mean, I will say that there were some spots in the book where they dropped a little bit of history and it was kind of outside of the storyline that I enjoyed.
When you learn, then you feel like you did learn something.
Then I felt like I didn't just waste a portion of my life reading that book.
But it was for teenagers, so do you expect it to be complex?
But there's a lot of teenage books that I like.
True.
I just didn't like that one.
That's fine, but I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was made for a young audience, so it's not going to be as complex.
I guess so. I guess so. If I pull myself back to 12-year-old, yeah, maybe. But it was just hard for me. It was very hard
for me also.
It wasn't, I guess you're saying complex. Maybe it wasn't complex enough, but it wasn't enough action, I guess, for me.
Right.
To keep me wanting more. It could be like a kind of silly storyline for me in books, but it wasn't enough to keep me going. What's happening next?
So when I think about just books that I've read that are sort of this love story or the meet cutes, like it just didn't do it. I didn't end the book with, oh. And so that's kind of what I was.
Oh, no, I did end it with, oh.
Yes, you did, because somebody shed a little tear.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't end it that way. Reading the book.
Actually, so the 12-year-old me, I do feel like, oh, this is a nice story for the most part. The movie, I don't.
The movie?
Yeah, and it had a different ending. I didn't.
That infuriated.
Right. Why not have, I envisioned this.
Whoa, they took it there.
Got a little bit of strong feelings about let's just jump right into the movie because I feel some fire.
Yeah, I was mad about the movie. It's too much stuff. That was like flip-flop. Where did all this come from?
But it took out the security guard.
Yes.
Significant.
Right.
So that was the deep part for me.
At the end of the movie, how she was a flight attendant and changed her life.
The whole movie
one
was different.
I don't understand why you left that out. Why?
Remember we were talking, it was so much they left out of this book. I was like, it didn't happen like that.
We could barely watch the movie, remember?
Right, we kept talking, right? Like, that didn't happen. What happened to this?
And a lot of it made the movie so boring. Like the whole singing scene, like, I don't even know what that was about. Remember when they were singing? When Natasha and Daniel were singing the song
in their private karaoke room, and then they were just like laid out on the floor.
What is that about? And then they showed nothing about the dad's struggle with being an actor, and I mean that whole dynamic she had with her father. Like that was just
and that's what we were saying when we were sitting when we were watching it in the movies. Like we kept trying to tell the other person with us in the movie theater what. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
This is why this all happened.
I felt so bad for people around me because I kept saying, "Oh, that didn't happen in the movie or in the book. That didn't happen in the book." And I'm just like, "Wait, let me not spoil it for others. They need to listen to the podcast to know."
Right.
But it was very, very frustrating.
And the worst part is that they ended up in the movie. He walked her to her appointment and then realized that, oh, this is where my appointment took.
Yes.
The whole book was so different, and it made more sense in the book. Like, oh wow, maybe it is. You were supposed to meet
the fate. Right. They took so much of that fate element away. Yeah.
They definitely took it away.
Sun is Also a Star. They pulled those moments out of the book.
Yes, they did. Not really following you there. But
yeah, I know.
I was just like, I missed.
What do you mean by that?
Because it was like fate. Sun is also a star. It gives you hope and la and law. And all of that connection
I didn't
was
get
gone.
That metaphor. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah.
I seem to always be on my own.
Sometimes
Please,
I
people,
back
help
you
me.
up.
This is Rhea, and I swear they always leave me on an island by myself.
But in the book, do you remember in the book when she described her dad's feeling when he did that one play that they all went to see?
Yes.
And it just was so emotional in the book. Like, you really felt like, oh, you could see this is my dad's passion. And,
I mean, dynamic. all
they
that.
just took that away. And I'm so angry they took that out of the movie.
In the movie, all they said was that the reason that they're being deported was because her dad got a DUI. In the book, it explained he ran into a cop car and told the cop everything that he'd done that day. Oh yeah, I've been drinking and all this stuff, whatever.
But it also went into, in wrapping up the story in the book, it was kind of like, I think I did do that on purpose because I wanted to go.
Right. You're right.
And you missed all of that.
All of it. And it missed the part where she overheard after that night after the play, she overheard him talking and said, I wish I never had kids, or I regret having kids, I regret getting married and all this stuff, whatever. Which is the reason why she was so angry with him.
Right.
But they didn't show any of that. And at the end, when she went back to the house to pack up her stuff, none of that happened in the movie.
Right.
That, because they had a standoff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then she expressed to him why she was so angry, and he kind of backed down.
But she did express a little anger, but we just didn't know why.
Sentences.
Right.
She really wasn't angry. To me, I didn't catch the anger throughout the whole picture.
Yeah.
Where in the book, she was clearly angry the entire time.
Right.
And then it took place the next day. Because remember, they fell asleep at night. Yep. And it was just like, well, I thought this was
the whole thing in the park.
In the book, they were supposed to be one day.
Teenagers sleeping in a park in New York City?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Not realistic whatsoever.
At all.
Especially a Jamaican mother.
How did you feel about the movie, Lynn?
I was
By the way, people, Lynn's arms are seriously crossed right
She's
now.
got like the defensive position and...
Well, she didn't want to talk about it. I was like, did you see it? Yep.
I was so angry.
Felt a little dragon
parts.
tattoo moment there.
Right. It just didn't make any sense. And then the other thing was, like, in the book, she talked about that whole incident with her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Which kind of set the stage for why she had this negative feeling about relationships.
Yeah, and like back up off me.
And how they ran into each other because he was following her with the jacket and everything.
None of that was there.
None of it.
Why are you looking at me?
Man,
I agree.
You're pouting.
I just thought it was unnecessary to leave out so much.
Yeah.
That was like really relevant and significant in the book. I just don't
But
understand.
add in long lengths of
Useless.
staring in my eyes and long
And the
pauses.
best friend at the subway station, they're just standing up there
Where did he
looking
come from?
out.
The DJ or poetry writer or
like,
something.
what?
That was so
Who
weird.
are
Nobody
you?
ever looks up. What?
And
are you?
staring at the
She's
stars
staring
in the
up like-
subway or the train station.
Why is she in the middle of the subway station looking up at the ceiling as if she's dazed? Like, it was just weird.
Well, I got that
Like-
because they were saying her and her dad did that. Like
Yeah,
in
but
the movie, that was like
Yeah.
a thing for her and her dad, so it was supposed to be taking her back. I just don't understand why they even put that scene in there.
Right.
Because there was no reference to anything about her and her dad that even took you there. Like, it was just stupid. You could have put in all the rest of the stuff that made this book that was killing me to read a little more bearable.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I watched the movie, it kind of made me like the book more.
Yeah,
true.
Because I was so angry
That's true.
about
Very
how
true.
they changed just stuff that
I
was just
agree.
unnecessary,
yeah.
I
right?
agree.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
The book was like mediocre as I was reading it, and then I started watching the movie, and I was like, you know what? The book actually wasn't that bad.
Right.
The movie is bad.
Exactly. I agree.
What do you guys think about the casting? Yara. Yeah.
I liked her in that role.
I did.
I did not.
I love Daniel.
I love Daniel.
Oh, Daniel.
I love Daniel
You
and
guys are
Daniel's
so
brother.
biased to handsome men. For real.
What?
Really?
What?
I love
He
Daniel.
loves-
No, I like his acting.
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job. I think his brother did a great job.
His brother
Yes.
was hilarious.
His brother looked that part in the book
Yeah.
to me. That's what I would imagine.
He looked like he was like the troublemaker.
Yeah, like
brother
the bad,
that went
but
against the grain.
yeah.
Yeah. Where's mom though? Where was their mother?
Yeah, they didn't show her at all. with her painting.
They had no mother.
Wait, the mother was in the movie.
Where was she?
She was in the kitchen telling him, "Don't forget to take the money to the job, to the."
Oh yeah, for the 2.5 seconds. Yeah,
I didn't say she was in there a lot, but she was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Teaching him how to speak and look at you.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yes, Mama did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so what do you guys think about Hill Harper's role?
Really?
In the movie?
I mean, Hill Harper was in there for all 2 seconds.
Help anybody.
That's the only reason she loved the movie.
Right.
What do you think about Hill? He's such a great actor.
In his
did he have a crooked
seconds?
mustache or something in the movie? I don't know.
Did he have what?
A crooked mustache or something?
No, absolutely not. He would never have a.
Just in case anyone can't see this, she's about to punch me in the face.
Right.
Okay,
he didn't help Natasha at all.
Let me think. Let me just think about Hill for a second.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to go on to John Leguizamo, his character. What happened with the whole affair?
Yes!
That was significant. That was the reason why there was
he messed up. Right, that was the reason why, because he was chasing after her, that he didn't even make his appointment.
Oh yeah, that messed me all
exactly. So why would you leave that out of the movie?
And
it was significant.
And who lets somebody walk in their office like that and you have a conversation? I mean, that just messed me up.
I know. What are you doing here? Oh my God, what's happening? Tell me everything that's going on. Who are you?
Right, basically.
Like, it was just, that was silly.
It was horrible.
Well, see, how you just reenacted that scene is how I felt about Yara in the whole movie.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, I just didn't like her in that movie.
There's so many aspects of the movie that made it so unrealistic. Like Lynn mentioned, the sleeping in the park, the busting in the office. I feel like the changes that they made
were useless.
Just made it like, okay, you can't even relate to this movie.
Right.
You made it unrelatable.
The movie was unrelatable because they took out so much. And for me, I love Yara on Blackish, but she did not have enough emotion for me to even have me get emotional about the movie. Don't say anything about the tear that I did drop, but the tear was based on what I knew happened in the book.
Right.
It wasn't based on the movie.
Right.
But in the book, Rhea, she was supposed to have this coldness, non-feely type personality. So she really wasn't
based on science.
But I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I got no feeling. I didn't get.
I thought she was trying to convey that. I thought that's what she was trying to convey, the no feeling.
I thought that was an attempt, but it didn't come across as anything to me. To me, it should have come across more as passion about science. And I just didn't like it. I got no passion. No, I just didn't like her in this role. I just feel like they went and looked for some mixed person to try to play the role.
But she wasn't mixed. She had both her parents were Jamaican.
Love Yara in Blackish. Love her. Didn't like her in this movie at all.
And I missed the part where Daniel went to his interview with the same immigration lawyer and didn't realize, why is Natasha's folder or whatever? He was like, well, I'm going to tell her, because remember he was telling her that, I couldn't get it done, blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh my God, you're ruining my life. Well, I want to be the one to tell her. That was such an it should have been an emotional part of the movie, but she ended up busting in the...
Black girl busting in the door.
Right.
Here we go again.
It took away from the excitement and the roller coaster of the movie. I felt like I agree with that part. Like they shouldn't have taken it out.
Right.
Because it made him seem headstrong and that he really cared for her well-being. Mm-hmm. That he didn't want to see her sad. Right. Versus, why did you just bust in this room?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So there were so many aspects in the book where they did tie in this faith. And I mean, from the affair to even the guy driving the train.
Yes.
They changed all
and it was just so many things, although they were not related, but they all connected to the fact that, you've got to have some faith and some hope and what's it called? Destiny?
Fate.
And especially at the end of the book when they were on the plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was like the conclusion of Fate.
Right.
Where all of them met up in one place. They didn't really know each other, but they all significantly had these life-changing moments that were small, even just a thank you, and they all came together at the end.
Right.
Versus in the show or in the movie, I'm just like,
let me go to the place where we met or we sat and had coffee. Right. And so it wasn't random. It wasn't an act of something bigger than life. It was just, I'm going to the place where we met because that's where I want to remember him by or something.
And trying to recognize your voice.
And then the whole, like, I don't know, who is it directed by again? So Young. I just don't understand. Like, that whole scene was so weird. It's almost as like she walked up to the door and kind of stood there 5 minutes waiting to hear the person.
Like,
did you notice that?
Insanely long time.
It was. I'm like, okay, that scene was horrible.
Exactly.
Versus being like, oh, well, something is telling me to turn around.
Right. Something messed me up.
But you had to wait for him to basically get to the mic. So you're standing there like, okay.
You're waiting for my cue.
That was not good.
And that's what I'm saying about the casting. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that was just not done well.
But that was on the director. Honestly, because they should have cut that scene down so it seemed a little bit more random, but they just had her staring too long.
Yeah, that was like, I'm like, what's
so, I mean, the director and then the screenplay writer, to me, just blew it.
Yeah, they did.
Writing.
I don't know what
Tracy
either one of them were thinking because they just took out so much. I'm sorry, I'm very upset by this.
Let's just get your vote. What do you give it? Because she's got a lot of emotion. I hate her, guys.
Well, I really liked Nicola Yoon's first book, Everything. And I was really excited for this one. And the movie
just let you down.
Yeah, it just completely blew the whole excitement of it. Right. So, since we can't give nothing as a rating, I give it a 6.
I agree.
We expressed why it's a sip.
Right. This whole podcast was about why it's a sip.
Yeah, I agree, Lynn. I would give it a sip too. I mean, it just messed up the book for me completely. But like you said earlier, it really did make me appreciate the book more.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
That's very bad, actually.
What do you think, Champagne?
A sip, since we can't give it anything less than that.
And Trevi?
Treva.
It's a cute nickname. You don't like it?
No, Trevi. We're not going to do the Trevi.
Like Trevi?
No. Okay. I'm going to go with the sip on this book to movie transition also.
Dang it, we can't have a glass of
wine. It got a sip only because of Hill Harper. Otherwise, it would have been an empty glass.
And my thing is, I think it was good all in all for a teenager, but how they did the transition from a book to a movie completely failed.
Yeah, you're right. The transition was horrible, and the movie really, if you wanted to try to capture the teenage audience, but also try to capture any other audience in the world, it was a failure.
Okay. An epic failure. All right, well, thank you all for listening. We'd love to know your opinion on this book to movie transition.
Thank you. Follow us on Instagram. Please comment. Wine. Yes, Rewatch Wine.
Give us some feedback.
And check out our next episodes on your local podcast stations.
Local?